everyone. Happy to be here. My name is Nabil Lahyani. I'm heading analytics in Nokia. I'm very thrilled to have here today Naresh Rao, product manager from Google, to talk about AI, data, and autonomous network journey. Naresh, very happy to have you here. Can you please introduce yourself?
Absolutely, Nabil. Thanks for having me. Thanks, Nokia, for having me an opportunity to talk about the data and AI space. I'm Naresh Rao. I'm the head of Telco Analytics and Partnerships within Google Cloud, and I manage the work on product management group for autonomous network operations.
Thank you, Naresh. So, as you know, we started this journey some time back. Actually, I'm very, very glad to see in this show, one of the themes is autonomous network journey. In that journey, what we are seeing is one of the biggest challenges or hurdles they are facing is the data. So we realized that it's not about the use cases themselves, about the AI or Gen AI. That's still very important, but the first building block of the foundation is the data. And having access to the quality data is really, really one of the top priorities. Can you please share some of the insight about this topic?
Yeah, absolutely. I think traditionally, most of the telecom operators, they have been managing their network in a siloed fashion. Like for instance, like if I have to talk about the mobile wireless network, a RAN team is not talking to the core and core team is not talking to the transport network. So eventually what happens is that becomes a lot of data issues, like in terms of like you're not correlating the data across different domains. So which will not help telcos to achieve the level of autonomy they would want to do it. And on top of it, the complexity of the 3GPP data itself is another important aspect of it. So you would need a lot of rules and configurations to understand the data, and then you have to normalize the data. So keeping all this in mind, so this is where I think we jointly, together with Nokia and basically with Google, that will help telcos to achieve to some sort of a standardized format, which will solve the data problem, which is pretty much the 70% of the problem statement today when it comes to building a use case.
Thank you, Naresh. Indeed. And actually, I remember when we started this journey together and we started working with a couple of customers, we couldn't believe that one of the most effort activities or requiring effort activities is to trust the data. And in that sense, you know that we just released we launched here in this event the Autonomous Network Fabric, where we have different capabilities from the way how we standardize the data collection, how we really standardize and harmonize from the acquisition until the consumption of the data according to the data mesh architecture. So with the structure of data products in the catalog, and that is the first, as I mentioned before, puzzle piece that we can really work on the approach of creating use cases on top of it. I wanted to share that in that approach, if I simplify it, in the data suite, we have two components. We have the data product, which basically we have three types. The essential ones where we get the data from the source. It can be a node B, it can be the router, it can be any data lake or access to the data source itself. Combining these two types of essential, like if we want to answer a question of who are the subscribers impacted by bad network performance, that will be combining two different essential data products, which will bring us to advanced type of data product. Last but not least, if we talk about AI, like anomaly detection, as you know, it's one of the most repetitive use cases. That will be a cognitive one because it's driven by AI ML. Now, I know that you've been part of this journey. What's your view? What's your insight on experience actually on the data suite the last year and a half?
Yeah, I think to me, Nokia is pushing the right buttons, like in terms of helping telcos to achieve, especially the data fabric that they offer. So autonomous network fabric itself is a huge evolution to telcos today. The reason why I say this is Google, we have always been have an opinionated framework that we already defined, because we manage our own planet scale network and we know how to bring various different telemetries. When we talk about telemetries, it may not be only the network data. We talk about the intent, we talk about the operational data, we talk about the subscriber data, we talk about anything with respect to service log, bad minutes. So there are different types of telemetries that always comes in. And then eventually what happens is that you need to have some sort of a unified data model which can actually cater building different use cases. So that is the fundamental challenge that most of the telcos have today. Like for instance, if they want to build a capacity management use case versus predictive maintenance use case, they have to re-ingest the data, they have to reformat the data, kind of create the models again. But now with the advent of the Nokia AN Fabric, which actually accelerates them in creating this unified data model. So basically, they continue to use some of the the robust aspect of Google AI tools, like including BigQuery, Vertex AI. So which actually helps telcos to take these data catalogs, data products, ready-made, so to build the use cases on top. So like Nabil mentioned, the way the agentic framework is defining, basically these ML models should be very agnostic to the data models below, and also it should be very agnostic to the use cases that you build above. So that is how that we see this as a evolution that is coming up. I think Nokia's AN is a very powerful suite today to telcos. They can leverage this AN fabric, which will help them to accelerate and use this data fabric, data suites as a primary go-to-market. Like basically, it's a go-to-start for any use cases that you can think through.
No, thanks, Naresh. I would like to pick up what you just said about being agnostic and being open. So definitely is one of the sine qua non condition when we built our ANF and our AN data suite, which was we have to make it modular.
Yeah.
The customers have invested a lot in the data area, also in the AI, be it LLM ops, Gen AI or agents, as you said recently. And we really intentionally wanted to make it modular, that if the need is in the data layer, so they can benefit from the fabric. If the need on the use case part, also in the MLOps. So that's the good segue to the next discussion, which is about the use cases.
Yeah.
We see from customers that there are areas like sustainability, like customer experience or network operations. What would you say from your perspective are the most repetitive ones that the customers are required, Naresh?
Yeah, it's a good way to think through, right? I think we all talk a lot about the autonomous network operations. So what is autonomous network operations? So it's basically, underneath, it's a bigger umbrella that where you have a subset of many use cases in the combination, that where it becomes an ability for telcos to self-identify, self-heal, and basically do some sort of a self-remediation, right? So keeping that in mind, like some of these use cases, like including energy efficiency or capacity management, or it could be the virtual drive test, or it could be the predictive operations for any network, like be it core RAN, like these are some of the important use cases. And also, most importantly, we should also think through use cases such as orthogonal, which is like churn prediction. So why are we even talking about churn prediction? Traditionally, telcos have been using only the NPS scores or maybe some kind of a subscriber self-survey scores to understand whether a customer is churning or not. But now with the power of network data, like especially data suites offers the network quality of experience, the subscriber quality of experience. Once you're able to merge this experience data along with the churn data, or sorry, like maybe along with the subscriber behavior data, it gives a more robust and much very powerful churn detection model, which helps operator to preemptively think who are the subscribers who are actually trying to churn, and they can take some sort of a preemptive actions as part of that. So this is how I see that a lot of use case that comes as part of a bigger autonomous network operations umbrella. So this becomes a more like an autonomous network fabric that gives really a nice framework for telcos to keep adding more and more use cases on top, which will help them to either reduce the OPEX issues, or it could be reduce their CAPEX, or maybe like even grow their top line revenue.
No, thanks, Naresh. Definitely, I stress what you said in terms of the need on use cases we see from our customers. I think there is a paradigm shift when it comes to moving from the network centricity to more focus on the subscriber experience. The current generation, be it Y or Z, are very demanding, especially when it comes to gaming, when it comes to how to consume the video and the information, especially on streaming, which means the expectations are high from the quality and user quality of service. In that sense, as you said, yeah, churn is one of the use cases. I definitely agree with you. The correlation between the network performance and the impact on the subscriber, not only from the OTT, but also even going at the level of geolocating the performance and the behavior of that customer. And in that sense, I wanted to close the loop what we discussed at the beginning on the data suite. Having the data product in the catalog Imagine having a data product on RAN performance and core performance.
Absolutely.
And the application, granular application visibility that correlating that and putting an algorithm like anomaly detection, it gives tremendous potential to really deep dive on the real experience. That is, as a last question, there is a use case that I'm proud of that we work it together as a partner, which is sustainability, especially in the case of Telefonica Germany. As you know, we started a couple of years ago in the RAN, energy efficiency. And now as we speak, we are running a project on the scope 3, where we are making a subscriber as part of the contribution to taking the right decision that will help to save energy. So, few words on that, please.
Yeah, I think there are so many use cases that we talk day in and out. Like for operators, like every operators and every operations teams has their own level of granularity that where they would want to achieve what level of autonomy that they would like to achieve. So we actually hit the areas where it is really impactful. So energy efficiency has been one of the key topic for telcos because it brings they have been committing to to what kind of energy efficiency, like to be carbon neutral, to help the latest generations that how they can be very energy efficient. So when we talk about these use cases, this becomes a very important aspect of it. With the power of Nokia domain expertise, with the power of the data suites where you have created these several data models, which will help operators to actually build more important use cases dynamically, and with the power of Google AI tools, and especially with the scope 3 that Nabil mentioned, we talk about the Android APIs. Like for instance, that if I'm in an event at a DTW where it is a very heavily congested cell site, like for instance, like I get tired, I sit there and I start watching videos, then obviously my operator should send me a text saying that this is the most congested cell site and you are part of the energy which is heavily consumed. So I have to be notified saying this is not the right time for me to see the video. Maybe if they can proactively send me a text message saying that this is the most congested cell site with a heavy energy demanding cell site, you should try to conserve the energy. So that's the autonomous way of operating that we are looking to. Thank you, Nabil.
Thank you, Naresh. Really appreciate it. And I would like to take advantage to invite the audience to stop by to see what we have in the assurance, how we use this approach in assurance product in orchestration and security, and most importantly the new launch, which is the autonomous network fabric. Super excited to see how busy has been and the interest and the feedback we are getting also in our joint engagement with the customer. So thank you very much. Really very happy having you here, part of the journey. Looking forward for a successful journey still.
Thank you for being one of our exclusive partner.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.